Hi, this is Senator Justin Reedy coming to you for the last of our session weekly updates here in Annapolis. Session will conclude on Monday night at midnight in what's known as sine die. The session runs till midnight. Once midnight strikes, everything is done, and any bills that don't pass, they got to come back next year. Taxpayers always breathe a little sigh of relief at about 12:01 every year because it means the General Assembly is leaving town, which is, I think, a pretty good thing. We have last-minute issues that are being fought out on the floor of the state Senate. Just yesterday, I joined with Republicans and some Democrats in defeating a really bad bill on universal voter registration. Now, the title of that may sound like, what could be wrong with universal voter registration? What the bill was going to do was have, when you register at MVA or register at other government agencies for different services, they were going to share your information with the Board of Elections, the State Board of Elections, which was then going to pass that information down to the County Board of Elections, and they were going to send you letters saying, we're going to register you to vote unless you check off a box and say you don't want to be registered to vote. And if they didn't hear back from you in about 3 weeks, they were going to automatically register you as an unaffiliated voter. So anybody who interfaced with state government, particularly at MVA, would have been the center point of this. Their personal information would have been shared with the State Board of Elections, staffed by an executive director who it would take a supermajority of people to fire. They were going to share personal information. So if you're somebody who's maybe trying to stay away from a domestic abuser or stay pretty anonymous and below the radar, or if you're just somebody who doesn't care to vote or doesn't want to be bothered by government, they were going to force you to either be registered or make a definitive statement that you don't want to be registered. And the bill had cost associated with it, a tremendous amount of cost, maybe a couple $1 million a year or more, and a lot of privacy concerns. So we were actually able, working with as I said, some of our Democratic colleagues who shared some of our concerns, we were able to defeat that bill on a floor vote on what's called second reading, which is right after the bill comes out of committee. We voted 24-21 to defeat it. Now there's still a chance, because late in session games can be played, there's still a chance that the Democrats may try to do a reconsideration of this bill, which is a procedural maneuver that they could try. And so we're going to be on our guard because it's a bad bill. It's wasteful government spending, and it really invades people's privacy. And it's just something that it's not the government's business whether you register to vote or not. That's your call. It's your decision to make. It's very easy to register to vote, and you should be registered to vote. But it's not the government's job to tell you have to be. So we defeated that bill. Unfortunately, we had just today on the floor a defeat by one vote, Governor Hogan's veto of that transportation legislation that I told you about last week. That was overridden. So it's now the law of the state. And I just want to make a point in closing that we've done some good things down here in the 90-day session, but there's also been some things that have happened that are bad. And it's because we need more people down here who are common sense, conservatives, who want to work with Governor Hogan to change Maryland. It's important who we elect to the state Senate and the state House of Delegates. It's important. Sometimes these down-ballot offices people don't always pay enough attention to. It's very important because sometimes just one more senator or one more delegate could be the difference between a good policy staying in place or being passed and a bad policy getting passed. So it's been a great honor to serve you in this General Assembly session. I'll try to keep you updated as best I can during the interim. Please feel free to contact me at the information provided, and I look forward to working with you as we move forward.